going to be a Pro Bowler? Is Shedeur QB1? The NFL social accounts posting Shedeur Sanders' first day of practice.
Shedeur Sanders has an unbelievable luxury. He may not see it like this. I'm sure he doesn't, but he has an incredible luxury of not having to do anything his rookie year, just fading into the background as much as possible and just learning.
Oh, hold up. He's got to make the team. He's a fifth-round draft pick. They've already got 3 other quarterbacks, 2 of them who are veterans who started a lot of games, and then Dylan Gabriel, third-round draft pick, who's a good player as well.
True.
You know, we can sit here and say Shedeur's got the luxury of sitting back. He has got to earn a roster.
Let's get something straight. This isn't just another rookie making headlines in July. This isn't some overhyped college kid flashing in shorts. This is Shedeur Sanders, and he just turned Brown's training camp into his show. Not just by showing up, but by taking over. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications. The moment that happened, the moment Shedeur stepped onto that field with the first-team offense and started carving up the defense like a 10-year vet, you could feel the shift. Coaches frozen, veterans watching, media scrambling. The job isn't up for grabs anymore. It's already being taken. Let's rewind this thing. When Shedeur Sanders was drafted...
The timing. Cleveland had Deshaun Watson locked into a $230 million 0 cents fully guaranteed contract. They had their guys, supposedly. So why go and draft Deion Sanders' son, the flashy, confident, hyper-intelligent quarterback from Colorado, if there was no plan to use him anytime soon? Simple, because sometimes plans change. And Cleveland's plan, that thing's now on fire.
There's plenty of reps. There's a lot of time between now and September, so we'll have a plan, but it's an all-encompassing evaluation. It's not something that it's just based on the practice reps. There's a lot that goes into it.
Just 1 week ago, Shedeur Sanders was rotating in with the 2s and 3s, getting limited snaps, doing what rookies do, waiting for his chance. Fast forward to this week, he's getting first-team reps repeatedly, and he's not just holding his own. He's outshining the starter.
It is Shedeur Sanders in part because of the publicity that came to him in his epic draft fall, really one of the most dramatic draft situations we have seen in several years. But this is part of it, Tom. This is part of it. This is part of the reason why a guy who's talented enough to go in the first round falls to the 5th round, because if he's not going to be your starter...
Shedeur threw 3 straight touchdowns in 7-on-7 drills, followed it with a 35-yard laser to Amari Cooper that had even the cornerbacks looking at each other in disbelief. And right there in the middle of that session, a coach was caught muttering, "He just sees it faster." That's not a throwaway line. That's code for, we didn't expect this, and now we don't know how to ignore it. The shockwave hits Deshaun Watson. Let's not ignore the elephant in the locker room. Deshaun Watson's seat just got hotter than it's ever been. And to be clear, we're not saying Watson is done, but the optics of a $230 million 0 cents quarterback being outplayed by a rookie in July, that's a media wildfire, and the fans are eating it up. Shader's command of the huddle is real. His timing, NFL ready. His relationship with the wideouts, already stronger than Watson's. And here's the kicker. Shedeur is doing all of this while learning the playbook on the fly. Let that sink in. If this is him raw, what happens in 2 months? This isn't just about arm talent. This is about energy.
Because typically teams don't stash quarterbacks on practice squads. Some do, but if Shedeur Sanders goes through a practice squad, someone's going to claim it. So he's either got to earn a roster spot or he could be on another team's roster. So that's what's intriguing about all of this.
And when Shedeur walks into a room just like his father, that energy follows him. Reporters at camp noted how teammates began hovering around Shedeur between drills. Veterans asked him questions about coverages. Coaches stood longer in his film sessions. There's a gravitational pull here. This isn't normal. Shedeur wears his Rolex on the field, shades in the locker room, and still shows up early, leaves late, and outperforms every QB on the field. It's the Deion DNA, but with a quarterback's mind. And the scary part? He hasn't even started a real NFL game yet. Deion's warning wasn't just hype hump. Let's go back to Deion Sanders at Big 12 Media Days just days ago. Y'all better get ready. He's not coming to sit, he's coming to lead. Grown men, at the time, most folks laughed it off. Just another father hyping his son. But now, nobody's laughing. They're watching closely because Deion knew what the league didn't. Shedeur Sanders is already built for this moment. And just like Deion flipped the script in college football, Shedeur is flipping it in Cleveland. What happens when the rookie starts outperforming the veteran in every measurable way, but the team is financially handcuffed to the vet? Simple. You get tension, and that tension is already building. Multiple sources inside Brown's camp have reported a quiet divide forming. Receivers like Elijah Moore and Cedric Tillman have started publicly praising Shedeur's ball placement, timing, and touch, things they haven't said about Watson in months. The defense, they've been challenged more in 11-on-11 by Shedeur than by Deshaun. It's not hate, it's honesty. And in a results-driven league, honesty wins. Always. Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski has a decision to make. Does he roll with the safe option, the expensive option, the option he's been told is the guy? Or does he open the door to the chaos and the potential glory that comes with Shedeur? Because make no mistake, the locker room knows, the fans know, even the opposing scouts watching from the bleachers know. This isn't just a kid with talent, this is a quarterback who's ready now. And Stefanski has to ask himself, do I want to risk my job trying to revive Deshaun? Or do I stake my future on the kid who's already taken the room? Let's talk about the dog pound. Cleveland fans are among the most loyal in sports. They've endured decades of heart picks, failed draft picks, and front office misfires. But now, they've found their spark. Social media is exploding with Shedeur highlights. Local radio is flooded with callers demanding he start. Jerseys with Sanders on the back are already being printed, and training camp isn't even halfway over. The fans aren't just watching Shedeur, they're believing in him. And once that tide turns, it doesn't come back. Here's the real conflict. Money. Deshaun Watson's contract is fully guaranteed. Benching him, let alone trading him, would cost the Browns a fortune and send shockwaves through the league. But what's the cost of not playing Shedeur? What's the price of stalling his development? What's the cost of losing a locker room that already senses the better man is standing behind center? This isn't mad. This is real football with real consequences. And sometimes you have to eat the money to save the culture. Nobody expected this timeline. Nobody thought we'd be talking about Shedeur Sanders taking over the Cleveland Browns before preseason even started. But that's exactly where we are. He showed up, he balled out, and now he's not giving the job back. So what happens next? That's on Kevin Stefanski, that's on the Browns front office, but make no mistake, if they blink, they'll lose him, and they'll lose the city. Because Shedeur Sanders didn't just show up to compete, he showed up to take the job, and he just did. Whether you believe in him or not, whether you think this is too soon, the reality is this. Cleveland is witnessing a shift. The rookie QB isn't just knocking on the door. He kicked it open, walked in with shades on, and sat in the starter's chair. And now the